Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a brand new collective reading. It feels like it has been forever since I've been channeling and doing readings for you guys. I'm very happy to be back. It was a very stressful and painful last few weeks. Do make sure that you check out the daily energy draw from today, Monday, because I explained why I went on another unexpected hiatus and what I learned through that experience. I ended up losing my dog, my beloved dog, which is very difficult, very painful. But I've also been connecting through that experience even more deeply back to myself and back to source. And as a result of that, releasing a lot of trauma, heartbreak, pain from past loss that was still kind of hiding in my subconscious. And it was not pretty. I was not embodying my highest self as I was going through this grief and this mourning process. But I do feel like I am coming out the other side. I do feel like my connection to myself and to source energy, being one and the same, is deepening. And I do feel like, this is part of life as humans, and this is part of the growth experience. And it's not always easy to go through difficult experiences, but we certainly do learn from them, don't we? So I talk a lot about everything that I experienced and have learned and gained from that in today's reading, so I won't get into that. Just I want to say thank you so much for your patience, your support. Like I said, it's been a pretty trying time for me, but I am back. I am also back open to readings. I'm now scheduling into the third week of August. I'm booked until the third week of August, so make sure that you get your bookings in now for August and September. If you'd like a reading from me, this is open now to all readings, whether this is love, career, spiritual ascension, whatever it is that you want a reading on, or any of my other services. Feel free to check out my website, susanddawnspiritual.com. I've been working on a number of different projects that I'm hoping to unveil throughout the next few months, definitely by the end of the year. All of those. So make sure that you guys are staying tuned to Instagram and Facebook as well. I have all those announcements up there as well. Okay, so we have the full moon in Aquarius today. We are in the gateway of the Lionsgate portal. Lionsgate is, we're in that energy now, but 8/8 is a significant number. It's a significant date, August 8th. That is what is known as the Lionsgate, but we are actually, it's not just that date, we're in that energy of that portal, that open gateway now. Remember that gateways and portals are always opening. You're always welcome to step through. You're always encouraged, is what I'm hearing from Spirit, to step through based on how you are shifting and how you're evolving and how you're expanding. So you're never going to miss a portal. These are just, they're saying energetic freeways. They're freeways so that it's more along the lines of mass consciousness shifts, more from a collective experience that individuals and souls can step through into higher levels of consciousness. So this is more of a mass scale, but you can always shift through portals and gateways. They're opening up all the time. Shifts in consciousness. This is just like, it's like an energy. I like how they put that, an energetic freeway. I'm seeing like a highway with just souls moving into just the next level of their ascension, the next journey. So that's really interesting how they put that. But a really powerful, potent time with this Lionsgate energy. The full moon, of course, being all about releasing, letting go of things that aren't serving you, things that are part of the old you that you don't want to carry with you into the new version of yourself, into the next chapter of your life, the next act of your play, so to speak, whatever it is, or that you just can't carry with you. I talked a little bit about that with my experience, with my dog passing. I'm leveling up in my life. I'm starting a new phase of my journey in my physical experience, and Riley just did not want and could not be a part of that. Very, very difficult for me. He's been with me for 14 years, so it's still very fresh and very painful for me to imagine life without him, even though I know as a medium as a channeler that he is still with me in spirit, in his very essence. I feel him very strongly. The love that exists between us is still very strong, but in the physical embodiment, he just was not, he was ready. He was ready to transcend his physical body. And so some of us are experiencing loss. Some of us are experiencing moving. Some of us are experiencing relationship shifts, dynamics changing, career changes and moves, things that feel very physical and human life oriented that are shifting and changing. And it's bringing in new energy is what I'm hearing. It's actually shifting in a positive direction to bring in new energy. So even though it feels very much like a loss, keep tapping into the gratitude for what was. Keep tapping into acceptance. Keep tapping into appreciation for the present moment. And keep tapping into the love energy, because that energy is what's going to carry you forward into the next few months, especially with this Lionsgate energy, which is especially potent for manifestation. So over the next 6 months, the next year or so, what you're actually doing is you're setting the stage by the energy that you're holding for what it is that you are creating going forward. So I have a couple of channeled messages that I have gotten over the past week or so, and that they reminded me of today before I sat down to do this reading. With this energy that's been coming in, what it feels like is we might feel like we're straddling two worlds, and it's because we are straddling two worlds. The old world, the old us, is really falling away and fading away. Now, this naturally occurs, is what they're reminding us of. This naturally occurs. This is a cycle of existence, a cycle of our human experience. Things shift, things change, things fall away, but it's happening on a grander scale. It's happening not in like little things where maybe we vibe out of friendships, or we break up and shift relationships, or we change careers, or our finances ebb and flow. It's not as subtle as that. Especially on a global scale, things are happening where it seems monumental. It seems really powerful, and it seems really profound, and in many aspects it seems very challenging because it feels like a big shift, not subtle so much. But what's actually happening is we are evolving. We are actually evolving out of one world, out of one version of ourselves, and into the next. And this has been happening throughout our lifetimes. We've been changing and shifting and transforming, but this is a bigger scale again. This is much, much bigger. But it's because we're actually creating a brand new world. And so not only are you as an individual changing, transforming, moving, shifting relationships, shifting careers, shifting finances, experiencing whatever it is that you're experiencing. Remember, this is a general collective reading. I'm just naming examples here. Whatever it is that you're experiencing, that's in an individual level, you're also seeing that on a macro scale. You're also seeing that on a global scale, where systems are being dismantled, systems that don't work anymore, systems that don't serve the collective anymore, because the collective is evolving. And so as the collective evolves on a soul level, the things that were working from the ego standpoint, from the social conditioning standpoint, from the old patterns and habits, everything we talk about on this ascension journey from an individual perspective, we're seeing that happen globally now, because we're going through a global ascension. And so just as things are shifting within your individual world, you as a viewer, now what's happening is it's also happening on a grand scale, because the world is being created now. So you're creating your world, and the world as a whole is being created. And that's the as within, so without. So as you're shifting within your world individually, rising in consciousness, raising vibrations, letting go of the things that not just aren't serving you, but that are not, that you're not able to carry with you into this next chapter of your life, that's what's happening globally as well. And it's because of this evolutionary change. And it's kind of beautiful to think about it. It's not just your world that is changing because you're creating a new life for yourself, based on, new recognition of yourself, new awareness of yourself, new embodiment of your higher self. But that's what's happening from the global perspective. That's what's happening on a higher scale. We're moving out of that low density world and into new earth. That's what new earth really is all about. It's a higher level of consciousness. And from that higher level of consciousness, the physical plane is being recreated. All the systems that we had in place, you know, when it comes to education, when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to policing, when it comes to how we care for each other, when it comes to food production, everything that you can think of is being evaluated and shifting because it's leveling up. It's shifting into a higher level of consciousness. And also, it's being created. So you might feel a little bit imbalanced because it's like, you might still feel like this set of friends or family are experiencing one thing. You might feel like you're experiencing another, and it feels like you're straddling two different worlds, and it is because you are. It's because this evolution is taking place, and with evolution comes different stages of the shift. So everybody's going through this shift in different stages, and so things feel a little bit chaotic right now. Things feel a little bit imbalanced, and you might not feel like you know quite where you're headed, but that's because you're creating the new world. You're creating the new earth. You are creating it. You're manifesting it just like you're manifesting your life, and you might not be able to see that next step for yourself, even though you're being guided. So you're following your intuition, you're following your own inner wisdom and inner guidance for that next step as you create your life, having those dreams for your life, knowing what it is that you want your future to look like, and working on manifesting that. That's what's happening as well on the grander scale. So a new world is being created, and you're a part of that creation. It's like you have a whole new landscape to work with here. And so you might feel a bit imbalanced because that path hadn't been tread before. You're creating it. That's the emphasis they want to place on this. You are creating new earth. You're creating a brand new world. You are, as the way showers, as the light workers, you're the pioneers. You're the ones who are paving the path. You're the ones who are creating that new world by you creating the world for yourself. Now, when I say you're creating the world for yourself, what I mean is by you lifting your vibrations, by you raising in consciousness, by you shifting in your experience and in your mindset, by you doing your healing work, your inner work, by you embodying your higher self and taking part in your mission work, which is love, which is service to others. By you doing all of that, you are helping to lay the foundation and create and build up this new world for everyone else, who is then going to become part of the collective wherein they're going to raise in their vibrations, and they're going to awaken and start their ascension journey and start shifting in consciousness and embodying their higher self. And as they do that, as they start creating the best and highest life that they want to create for themselves, as they start living their dreams, it becomes a collective dream. And that collective dream then becomes the reality. So if it feels a little bit unsteady right now, know that you are just in the process of leaving behind the old and building the new. And if you do feel a little bit disconnected, if you do feel a little bit off center, go within yourself. Find that center within yourself. It is there. Call upon your spirit team for support. It is there. Okay, on that note, Archangel Michael came in with a message that you are surrounded by divine protection at this time. This is especially for those of you in sacred unions. Sacred unions playing a pivotal part. I'm not going to get into that today. We have a whole playlist of channeled messages about what sacred unions actually mean for the collective and for humanity. So make sure that you check that out if that's of interest to you. We talk about that a lot on this channel. Remember, all of my readings are timeless. Don't be afraid to go back through the playlist and click on anything that resonates with you, because that might mean that there's something that you need to hear at this time. I've gone back a year, the past 6 months, and the messages from that energy from those readings are resonating for me even now, even because I channel ahead a little bit. So don't be afraid to go back and listen to some of the older readings as well. But divine protection, especially for sacred counterparts, because sacred unions are especially vital at this time. sacred union within yourself and sacred union with your counterpart. I also got a message of the importance of calling upon the violet flame for purification. The violet flame of Saint Germain. Call upon that for purification if you're feeling fear, if you're feeling anger rise, if you're feeling like you're being drawn down into that third dimensional density, the fear matrix. Call upon the violet flame. That will really help you to purify the energy. And as well as setting the intention for protection and manifestation. No matter what words you use, no matter what words you write, no matter what it is that you do, what actions that you take, everything comes down to intention, because intention is energy, and this universe communicates through energy. This universe is built on energy. So it's really important that you set the intention, be mindful of what it is that you're saying, be mindful of what it is that you're doing, because it is all about intention. Make sure that you're mindful of your intention, and especially now with this full moon and with the Lionsgate energy, it's about setting the intention to release and to manifest at the same time, and call in protection. Set the intention to call in protection for yourself as you're going through this process of releasing and manifesting. Again, intention, really, really important. Okay, so we're going to get into a reading for counterparts. So let's use the Moonology deck. I use this for tomorrow's daily energy draw, but let's get a card and see what does Spirit want to say for the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine, and then we'll get just cards and see what energy is coming through. I think that's what we'll do today. But who knows? Spirit always I kind of let Spirit run the show, so we'll see what happens. But okay, so let's get a card for Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, please. So what's going on with the Divine... Yeah, okay. What's going on with the Divine Masculine at this time? I can't tell you how good it feels to be channeling again, you guys. The stuff that just came out in the intro there, really powerful. It feels really good. Even though times might be trying, keep connecting back to source. Keep connecting back to yourself. Keep going within to your inner heart temple. Keep connecting back to the love. Okay. Divine Masculines. What's going on with the Divine Masculines? Overall energy for the Divine Masculines. What's going on with this full moon, especially with this full moon? Oh, all right, I'll take them. Show the world the real you, and you're very close to achieving your goal. Okay, let me get feminines, Divine Feminines. Oh, there's the full moon in Aquarius, which is what we're experiencing right now. Great. Interesting. Okay. All right. I'm going to take that one as well. Okay. So, Divine Masculines. We have Show the World the Real You, full moon in Aquarius, which is the moon that we have now. If you're watching this at a later time, take the message as it resonates for you, because it just means that you're in that energy now, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't let that put you off. Okay. And we also have you're very close to achieving your goal. The energy that's coming in here is that there is a major shift that is happening for the Divine Masculines, where they are stepping into their true self. What I'm actually getting is an opening of the eyes, but what they mean by that is an opening of the mind. So I feel like they are experiencing a real mindset shift. You might actually not be seeing this yourself in the physical, but they're going through this where they're experiencing a shift of self-acknowledgement, self-awareness, self-actualization, where they're really feeling the confidence or working through confidence issues to be able to really step into themselves and embody their true self. Very close to achieving their goal. It's not so much an energy of a goal as if something that they are working towards, something that they are like acquiring. But this is the energy, like I said in the beginning, it's the energy of the shift. It's an energy of they're very close to this happening. They're very close to this mindset shift, this new perspective, this opening of their mind. I'm also hearing opening of their third eye, their gifts, which is going to enable them to see life and themselves and their connection from a new perspective. It's going to be a perspective that is embodying the energy of love. It's going to be a perspective that is embodying the energy of oneness. It's going to be a perspective that is helping them to just embrace who they are, where they are, and help them to move forward in their manifestation, in the life, creating the life that they wish to create. So show the world the real you. This is them really stepping into their genuine nature, their true nature as soul, their genuine nature of how they want to express themselves, how they want to be seen, how they want to share their life, how they want to share themselves. This has a very sincere, genuine quality about it. It has a very intimate, vulnerable quality, has a very emotional quality about it, where they are just not wanting to hold themselves back or hide anymore. That's what is shifting here. They want to be able to say, ta-da, here I am, this is me, take it or leave it. But before, where they really held themselves back out of concern for other people, out of expectation, out of obligation, or even out of a people-pleasing tendency, even out of a fear of criticism or judgment, now they're just fully embracing who they are. But the most important thing about this is, what I'm hearing is they're understanding who they are and not just who their ego portrayed them to be or told them that they were. This is really it's a healing of the ego. They're giving me the word bridging of the ego. So it's feeling like it's bridging the ego and the soul. Because remember, we have ego as humans, but you don't have to kill the ego, but there's a healthy ego. Because the ego is who we identify with as humans. You are more than who you believe yourself to be. You're more than your avatar. You're more than the name that you gave yourself. You're more than your interests. You're more than this lifetime. You're more than this human experience. You're more than human. And that's what a lot of them are remembering. And even more than that, that's what a lot of them are understanding, is that they're not just human and they're not just soul, but they are the bridge between the two. And that's what self-mastery is all about. And I feel like Divine Feminines, you have really been anchoring into that. You've really been learning how to embody that. And you might, feel like you're falling back a little bit. You might feel like you're forgetting that. But as long as you keep coming back around to that, as long as you keep bringing that back to your awareness and setting that intention and choosing to embody your highest self, that's where your self-mastery is all about. And I feel like that's where the Divine Masculines are coming in, where they're understanding that, they're having that level of awareness, and they're choosing to embody their highest self now, recognizing where they weren't embodying their highest self, and now acknowledging that and choosing to embody their highest self and show the world, this is who I am. And I'm hearing they'll be choosing to show the world in a very physical manner and a very concrete, tangible manner. It'll be in a number of different ways. For some, it will be stepping into the limelight. For some, it'll be, stepping into the spotlight in one way or another, whether it's a YouTube channel, whether it is like a movie, whether it is writing a book, something like that. It'll be something very physical or tangible. For others, it'll be their mission, their service work, and mission can be a part of all of this. For others, it might be mission or service work where they're stepping up in their career, they're stepping up in their volunteerism, stepping up in their service. For others, it might be stepping up when it comes to their family, when it comes to their relationships. But it's going to be very physical and tangible. It's going to be something concrete where they are stepping up, where they're rising up, where they are showing the world who they are and that they are choosing to embody their highest self. So that's amazing for Divine Masculines. And it does feel like there's a hesitancy here. I will say it does feel like it's not quite yet, but I feel like they're in the process of this. And now if you listen to the past few months of readings, Sorry guys, I only have one mutt face now, and but she's a barker, and man, does that make me miss my Riley's howling. Jeez. Okay, where was I? Oh, okay. So if you listen to the past few months of readings, you know that they've been going through this process of self-awareness, of discovering who they are. And not just discovering who they are, yes, on a soul level, but also, who are they without the world telling them who they ought to be? That's what they were discovering too. They were discovering their interests. They were discovering what they wanted in life. They were discovering their dreams. It was a process of internal growth and internal discovery where they were really going deep within to find out who they were, both on a human level and on a soul level. And now what's happening is that bridge is being built, and they're learning how to balance both of those out. And as they learn how to balance both of those out, that's going to be displayed or shown to the world, because it's going to be as within, so without. They're going to be showing that on the outside as well. Okay, so divine feminines, believe in the impossible and work through your fears, which I was also called to get. So divine feminines, you might have been feeling a little bit imbalanced. You might have been working through some triggers and traumas and some stuff that was buried really deep within the subconscious that might have come to the surface in the past few weeks. And what you're actually doing is you're learning how, again, on a deeper level, really integrating this on a deeper level, really anchoring into this on a deeper level, you're really learning how to have faith. That has been the theme of your journey, at least one of the themes of your journey, how to have faith despite what you're being presented with in the physical. But this is where belief matters. And I think it was one of the daily energy draws this week, I think it was Thursday, where I channeled a message from unicorns where it's really about, not believing what you're seeing, or not seeing in order to believe, but believing in order to really feel and see. And there's a difference there. The difference is you can't focus on what you're seeing and then use that as the crux in order to believe. You have to believe first, and then that manifests in your physical world. And so what might feel like impossible, like an impossibility, they're calling for you to have faith. They're calling for you to keep believing. They're calling for you to keep trusting in your own intuition, because anything else are just fears that are cropping up for you to continue to work through. It's just self-sabotage energy. It's old pain. It's old patterning. It's old conditioning. It's old ways of doing things. So keep working through your fears. Keep working through if you feel like it's impossible, especially when it comes to this connection, if it feels like it's impossible, keep working through why you feel that way. What is that bringing up? Keep doing the deep dives. Keep doing the inner work, because that is what will, it's almost like what they're showing me. It's so lodged in the subconscious, a lot of this patterning and programming. This is for both counterparts. So divine feminines, don't think that this is just you. This is for everybody. This is for the collective. There's so much patterning and conditioning lodged in the subconscious, not just from this lifetime, but past lifetimes as well. And that's really what we're doing on the ascension journey. This is really what our job is to clear it and heal it and transcend that. And what they're actually showing me, it's almost like there's this, what I like to call soul sludge. It's all that patterning, all that conditioning, all the false beliefs that you learned, essentially, that might not be true, but because of an experience, you created a belief around it. It's almost like it's lodged in there. And it's almost like you're excavating yourself, going through all of that patterning and all that conditioning and dislodging it so that you can be free, so that you can free yourself. And what you're actually freeing yourself from is the fear. And fear is what blocks possibility. You are truly limitless. You are truly limitless, and you are truly powerful in your creative abilities. Creative abilities meaning manifestation. So keep working through those fears. Keep asking yourself the tough questions. Keep being honest with yourself. And if you feel like you're kind of falling back, don't be hard on yourself. Be very gentle with yourself. Be very compassionate to yourself, because this is just part of the process. You're just being called to go deeper and deeper and deeper to continue excavating and dislodging anywhere where you're not embodying your highest self, anywhere where you're not living in that place of love and faith and peace, inner balance. And what they're actually saying is anywhere where you're living in fear, anywhere where that fear programming is still within you, because the opposite of fear is love. And if you're not in a place of connection and love, then you're in an energy of fear, and there's some reason for that fear. There's some belief, there's some pattern, there's some conditioning, there's some hook that you still have the fear still has some kind of hook in you. And so keep working either with energy healers, or keep journaling, or keep calling on your spirit guides, keep calling on the violet flame. Keep doing the energy work to dislodge that fear, to bring that to your awareness, because once it's in your awareness, then you can integrate it. Then you can clear it and integrate it. It's like the shadows, you don't have to get rid of your shadows. It's not about that. It's about bringing it to your awareness. And once you bring it to your awareness, then it's not really a shadow anymore, because it's in your awareness now. So keep believing, keep having faith, keep doing the work, keep working through your fears, because nothing is impossible, especially on this journey. Okay. We're going to get some tarot. I want to see what deck I want to use. I think I'm going to use the Morgan Greer. Okay. I think I'm going to use this deck. So let's see what's going on for Divine Masculines, Divine Feminines. I think what we're going to do, well, we talked a little about Divine Masculines, Divine Feminines. I'm just going to see who comes forth. We're just going to see where you guys are with regards to your sacred union. Let's just do it that way, because there's a lot of ascension energy in this one today, a lot of higher level stuff. So let's see, let's pull it back down a little bit, Spirit, and let's see where they are in their connection. Where are Divine Masculines and Divine Feminines in their connection when it comes to their sacred union? Where are we when it comes to physical sacred union? Okay. I've been channeling over the past few months that this fall is going to be significant. August, September, October, very significant 3 months for sacred unions. And this feels like coming together in physical partnership, and this feels like higher levels of commitment. What that might look like will be different for everybody, but there is movement that is happening. Movement energy started coming in, I want to say February, March, something like that. Forward movement, forward momentum, with significant forward movement and momentum within these sacred unions in these fall months. So things might have felt very difficult the past 6 months, but we're moving, again, with this Lionsgate energy, we're really moving into an energy of manifestation. And so setting the intentions for the next 6 months, for the next year, with an energy of positivity, with an energy of, again, believing in the impossible, of not hiding yourself, of showing the world the real you, embracing this energy of this is who I am, this is a soul of who I am, embracing all of that, embracing the faith, embracing the love especially, because as you embrace the love, then your heart just expands and you just completely open up as soul. As you do that, then you jump to your highest timeline. And I feel like the highest timeline, especially for these sacred partners, is union. I mean, that seems pretty obvious. But in the physical, it's going to be a physical coming together, a working together, a partnership, a relationship, a physical relationship, family, moving in together, commitment, whatever it is for you guys. There's going to be, and everybody might be at different stages, but there's going to be, and it might look different for everybody, but there's going to be significant movement in your physical relationship. So if you're not in communication, you can probably expect communication. I'm hearing phone calls, I'm hearing text messages, and not just simple text messages, but expressions of self, sincere expressions of self, genuine communication coming in, long conversations, that kind of thing. And if you are in communication, if you are in physical contact, it's going to feel better because you're working through it together. It's going to be moving into the next stage, whatever that next stage might look like for you. So really significant movement over the next few months. And again, they keep showing me September, and I love September. It's fall, it's my birthday month, but September feels very, very important and powerful for sacred unions. But with that energy, I feel like it's starting in August, moving into September as like the crux, and it'll be filtering into October. It really feels like these next 3 months of fall, it really feels like there's just movement happening. That's the word that they keep giving me. It just feels like movement, but in a very positive direction. So make sure that you're setting that intention now with this Lionsgate energy. Make sure that you're clearing away any fear, any residual stuff. Now, don't be afraid if stuff keeps coming up. Just keep doing the clearing work. The full moons are perfect for letting go of the past. If you're moving in, out of the full moon energy and you're still clearing stuff, let yourself still clear stuff. You're in your own time. Everything's happening in perfect divine timing according to you. And it's not just perfect divine timing for the collective, it's perfect divine timing for you. You're exactly when and where you're meant to be on your journey. So have faith in that as well. And as long as you're doing the work, as long as you're bringing things to your awareness, as long as you're clearing and learning and evolving and allowing yourself to evolve, then you are right on track. Okay? All right, so that message wanted to come through. Let's see what's going on for these sacred partnerships. Spirit, what's going on for these sacred partners? Sacred unions. What's going on? Let's get a couple of cards here. Whoa. Oh. I saw, with the cards that dropped on the floor, I saw the Four of Cups on the bottom of the deck. I didn't take them, but the energy that came forth was and this was in another, I think we channeled this a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, where it felt like there was a missed opportunity before, the opportunity is coming back around again. So don't be afraid that you missed an opportunity. Again, you're exactly when and where you're meant to be. That opportunity will be coming back around again. It might look a little bit different. It might feel a little bit different because, again, you're transformed, you're different. Your divine counterpart is going to be different and transforming because you're both going through this ascension. So you're naturally transforming and growing. So the energy might be a little bit different from the past, but the opportunity will be coming back around again. Again, it might look a little bit different, but it will be there. So don't be afraid to take it if you're called to take it. Okay. Page of Wands, or Page of Wands, it's called in this deck. We have the Seven of Wands, and we have, okay, give me, tell me about the Seven of Wands, please. Okay. And tell me about the Page of Wands, please. Oh, okay. Okay. So, okay. I'm going to start here with the Page of Wands, clarified by the Moon card. With the Page of Wands for me is about a new beginning, an eagerness to start a new journey and take action, like a new chapter of your life. If you're using these analogies, we can say it's leveling up in your life as far as like if it's a game. If you're viewing your life or you're viewing the human existence as like a play, it's the next act of your play, the next chapter of your book or the sequel to your book. You're starting something fresh. You're starting something new. There's an eagerness here. There's an excitement here. There's I can't wait to get going, like a jumping from foot to foot to foot to foot to foot. Just like, let's go, let's go, let's go. That kind of energy is coming through. With the Moon card here is a call to listen to your intuition, especially with this Lionsgate energy that we're in. The veil is very thin right now. And what they're actually telling me, they're showing me October, which is Halloween, which the veil is thinnest on Halloween, but they're showing me it's going to remain thin. And that's what's actually happening as we're going through this ascension journey. The veil is getting thinner and thinner because we are ascending higher and higher. So it's like as we ascend, in shifting consciousness, we're not stuck in the illusion, again, of the 3D. The 3D, you're so focused on the physical plane, you're not seeing everything that's still around you, that you're not feeling spirit around you. As you ascend and raise in your consciousness from 4D to 5D and above, you begin to experience phenomena. And it's not really phenomena. This is just something that was kind of cloaked from you in the past because you were not of the vibration, you were not of the consciousness where you could perceive it. But as you raise in your vibrations and as you raise in your consciousness, they keep pointing me to this, I have this High Priestess here from this tarot deck here. They keep having me look at it. That's this energy here. The High Priestess, she is one who is connected. Divine masculine or divine feminine, male or female, doesn't matter. It's this energy of being connected because of your level of consciousness. And the more connected you are, the less there's like a cloak, the less there's like a veil. That veil becomes very thin because you're seeing through the illusion. How do I say this? You're raising in consciousness, and when you raise in consciousness and shift your consciousness, it's a mindset. You're opening up your crown chakra, you're opening up your third eye. That veil of separation is being removed. And when you're in the 3D, when you're in the very physical plane, that dense energy, that very, heavy energy of the physical plane of the third dimension, it's an energy of separation. You feel, you don't recognize yourself as soul. You don't recognize yourself as spirit. You're very grounded in your human experience. You're very grounded in ego. But as you raise in your consciousness by raising your vibrations, what happens is that separation falls away. You remember that you're not separate. You're not separate from your brothers and sisters. You're not separate from God, source, the universe. You recognize soul within yourself. You're not even separate from yourself. You're not separate from all living things, from all living consciousness. You're not separate from the birds. You're not separate from the trees. You're not separate from the earth beneath your feet. It all has the same energetic fingerprint, the same energetic footprint, blueprint, whatever. It all has that same energetic essence that you're connected to. And so what's happening here is you're starting another phase of your journey. You're starting another chapter. And like we talked about before, it might feel like you're going through changes in your physical environment, but it's only because you're raising your frequency and your physical environment is now moving to match the frequency that you're at. Because everything is about alignment. If you weren't ascending, if you weren't shifting in vibration, if you weren't shifting in consciousness and frequency, then you would be stuck exactly where you are. And you know what it's like to feel that stuck, stagnant energy. But because you're ascending, because you're evolving, because you're opening up, especially when it comes to your connection to source, connection to yourself, which is one and the same. Especially when you're opening up your crown chakra, your third eye chakra, that veil is being lifted. And so you're seeing forward movement in your physical environment. You're seeing forward movement in your human experience, your human existence, in your connection, because of the frequency that you're at. Your physical world with you, I'll put this in terms of you and your divine counterpart. With you and your divine counterpart, you're coming into reunion because you're now at the frequency and the vibration where you can come together. You're now at the state, the frequency and the vibration where you're meant to meet back, to converge again, because of the work that you've been doing, because of the veil being lifted. Now, because we have been channeling the past few months that what was once hidden is now being revealed. The veil is lifting because you are shifting. Now, with this energy as well, it's trust your intuition. As you're moving into this next stage of your life, trust your intuition, follow your inner wisdom, follow your path. The moon being a very intuitive energy, a very intuitive card. Follow your intuition and your own inner wisdom and guidance as far as the steps to take on this next level of your journey. bridging the mind and your heart, bridging the mind and the intuition. Use your mind for practical purposes, for logical purposes, but listen to your heart and the emotions. How does it feel when you get inspired, when you get an idea, when you are ready to take action for a next step? How does it feel? Use that as your barometer. Use that as your navigation system. If it doesn't feel good, that means it's probably not meant for you, but there might be another solution there for you, another path to take. Don't force a path if it doesn't feel right, because forcing a path is just ego. That's just ego trying to take control again. Listen to your intuition. That is your true guidance system. And I feel like that's where you have really learned on your journey and evolved on your journey, and now you're ready for the next stage. You're ready to get started on manifesting this next level of your future, of your life, where you're really listening to your future, to your intuition. And because you're listening to your intuition, your connection is opening up more and more and more, and that veil is getting thinner and thinner and thinner. With the Seven of Wands and the Emperor here, what this feels like, and I'm going to read these 4 cards here because it feels like all kind of together. You have the 3 of Swords that came out in reverse, and I don't usually put my cards in reverse, or I should say keep my cards in reverse, because I don't read reversals. I am an intuitive reader, but it came out in reverse, and they said keep it like that. With the Sun here, the heartache is coming to an end. This energy of very defensive energy, very controlled energy, where you were very stoic, or your divine counterpart was very stoic, where you were holding yourself back completely, that all feels like it's coming to an end, that's coming to a close. But again, because you're starting this next chapter, you're embodying a new version of you, and your life is going to be reflecting that. And you can't be the old version of you in this new life. It's just different frequencies. So if you're trying to start a new business, or you're trying to move homes, or you're trying to have this new level of your commitment, of your relationship, or you're trying to, whatever it is that you're doing, if you're, starting a new project or whatever, but you're still embodying the old version of you, well, you're not going to be in alignment. It's not going to be a match, and so you'll be met with a lot of opposition. You'll be met with a lot of defensiveness and guardedness. There'll be a lot of just opposition. There'll be a lot of blocks for you. If you truly embody this Emperor energy, the distorted Emperor energy is very controlling, very stoic, very guarded. The divine Emperor energy, the divine version of this energy, is someone who is just regal, ready to take action, ready to stand tall, ready to rule themselves, not other people, not control other people, ready to rule themselves, ready to stand in their true authority, ready to just stand tall, knowing who they are and where they're going and where they're headed. Not defensive, guarding themselves, standing up for themselves, but this is turning into an energy of, I know who I am, and you can say whatever it is that you want from me, but I know who I am, and so I'm going to defend myself, but not from a place of trying to convince you who I am, but me knowing who I am. That kind of energy, standing tall in who you are. That's this energy here. That's what you're becoming, or your counterpart is becoming. You're both becoming. And so as you're embodying this highest self, that's when whatever it is that you're creating in your physical life flows more easily. You're not met with that resistance. You're not met with that opposition. You're not met with the obstacles and the blocks, because you are on the frequency and at that level of consciousness and vibration of embodying your highest self. And when you're embodying your highest self, when you are truly authentically you, when you're truly authentically soul, listening to your intuition, not forcing anything, not having expectations as far as it has to be this way or that way, or it's not going to happen, believing, having faith, allowing the energy to flow. That's that feminine energy that's balancing the masculine energy. When you're in that energy, then you're relieving yourself of this heartbreak, you're relieving yourself of the suffering, and you're opened up to sunshine, happiness, abundance, the sun being the happiest card in the deck. You're opening up to partnership. You're opening up to, and what they just said, the sunflowers. Yeah, the sunflowers open. The sunflowers open and reach for the sun. You're reaching for the light. You're embodying that light of who you are. And so your life as a whole will not be made of this heartbreak, will not be made of this trauma, will not be made of this suffering, because you're going with the flow, and naturally who you are is love, is light, is flow. Naturally who you are is abundant. It's just all this other stuff, all this other soul sludge and conditioning and patterning and, you know, society telling you who you are. This is who you are. You are naturally love. You are naturally light. You are naturally abundant. And so your life will be open to that. Again, not in a controlling way, not in a taking way, but in a, I'm going to be here as far as my frequency, and I'm going to tell the universe what it is that I want. And I know and have faith that the universe will then meet me where I am at this frequency and bring in opportunities to manifest my happiness. So, beautiful. Okay, this feels more like an ascension update, but when it comes to sacred partners, this is the same thing. When it comes to sacred partners, it's because, see, this energy just keeps getting blended and merged because you're on this ascension journey together. You're not going through this growth cycle separate anymore. Even if you're not in physical communication, you guys are, for the most part, in sacred union. For the collective that I read for, you're in sacred union, at least energetically. And it's because of the union within yourself. And so with sacred partners in the physical, what's happening is you're starting a new journey together. You're going to be receiving more clarity. You're going to be receiving more truth. You're going to be receiving more downloads and intuitive understanding of your relationship, of your partnership. And that is going to be moving you out of this energy of defensiveness, resentment, resistance, and into an energy, out of an energy of distortion and into an energy of divinity. Again, whether divine masculine or divine feminine, this is you standing in your power. This is you sitting on your throne as the king or the queen, as the god or the goddess. And so you're letting go of the past cycle, closing the door. This is really about a brand new phase of your life, a brand new chapter. And it's very tangible. Some chapters have more fluid transitions. You know, if you look back on your life, you know, you're like, oh, you know, maybe I graduated high school and that transitioned into college. And then I graduated college and that naturally transitioned into a job. And I left that job and that naturally transitioned into another job. Or I created a family and that naturally transitioned into 2 children and marriage. And, you know, whatever it was, there were natural transitions where one chapter was closing and a new chapter was beginning. This feels very definitive, very defined. And you can look back, especially in the past 6 months, and see that. And it's because, again, of this global ascension. But that's where this is necessary, to really allow yourself to put the past in the past, to really allow yourself to release what needs to be released so that this sunshine energy, this happiness, this abundance, this partnership, and you see the 2 counterparts together facing each other with the sunflower in the middle, that sunflower, again, being that openness, being that open heart. If you're closed down and guarded, then, you know, you're not letting the sun in. A sunflower, as a flower, as one of nature's objects, naturally turns its face to the sun, and that's where Spirit is asking you to do the same with your partnership, with your counterpart. Open your heart again. Don't let this past heartbreak and this past pain, whether it was with your counterpart or otherwise, to block you off from the abundance of this love. Don't let this hold you back. Okay, I'm going to get a message to end the reading. I think we're going to end here. I'm hoping to be back this weekend. We'll use the Romance Angels this weekend for a weekend update, and I have this new deck as well that I use on the Patreon, the Love Oracle cards, that I really enjoy using. I also have a new deck, the Light Seers Tarot, which I'm excited to use. So we'll do another reading at the end of the week. Make sure you stay tuned. I just wanted to do an update for you guys since it's been a while for the full moon. But let's end the reading with a message between counterparts. So Divine Masculines, what do you want to say to your Divine Feminine? Oh, that was quick. I'm afraid of being vulnerable. Yeah. Your person is moving through this energy right now. They're going through this process of opening up. So I feel like they are shedding this as well. They're closing out that chapter where they were afraid of being vulnerable, and now they're learning how to be more open. Now they're becoming more comfortable with being open. Again, it is a process. When I said in the beginning of the reading was there feels like there's some hesitancy here. It feels like they're working through this. But this is what they are. And again, very close to achieving their goal. That goal is the shift that is taking place here. So where they once were afraid of being vulnerable and showing the world and you as their counterpart, the real them, now they're really opening up to that. Now they're really opening up to their feelings, to expressing their feelings, to expressing themselves, and to intimacy. This can be physical intimacy, but especially emotional intimacy. Divine Feminines, what do you want to say to your Divine Masculine? Let's rebuild together. Yeah, you guys are really in an energy of, again, working through your fears, letting the past be the past, and just wanting to manifest this union together. And I love ending on this. The light in me sees the light in you. This is this energy. You see how you're facing each other? This is you seeing the love and the light and the truth of who you are. This is you guys seeing the soul of who you are. Without the pain, without the bullshit, without the past, without your past trauma, without your past heartache projecting onto the other person, without their past pain, without their past heartbreak projecting onto you. When you pull back and look at things from the soul's perspective, when you pull back and look at things from an open heart and just from a place of love, this is what you see. You see the love and the light and the soul and the truth of each other. And love is truly all there is. Love is truly what matters. So don't let yourself keep getting pulled down into the drama. I know it's easy. I know it's hard. I have been there recently myself. But just keep opening up to the love. Just keep opening up to the flow. Again, have boundaries if boundaries need to be had. Don't put up with bullshit. Don't put up with anything that you are not deserving of, because you are a king or a queen, a god or a goddess. You are deserving of a love that cherishes you. But allow yourself to see that was a message that we had in the beginning, and I think in one of the dailies this week as well. It's illusion is not just everything's pretend, everything's fake. That's not what illusion is. Illusion is there is so much more happening beneath the surface. So look at the love beneath the surface. Focus on the love and look through the lens of love. Ask Source to help you look through the lens of love and see how that shifts your perspective. And as your perspective shifts, see how that changes your connection as well. All right, you guys, it is always an honor to read for you. I'm so grateful for this community, so grateful for you. I'm sending you all so much love, so much light. We'll be back at the end of the week with another collective reading. Stay tuned for the dailies this week as well. I will see you soon. Bye.